Hey, what it do, everyone? I'm back in college. What do you know? Anyway, real talk, guys. I'm coming back because, firstly, I got a strike of divine inspiration. That shit crept up on me, and now I just gotta make a video. I'm changing it up. Instead of being AVLSMP, I got into dueling rounds on Roblox. So instead, I'm making a tier list explaining why I think that some weapons in this game are dog shit. They're bad. Others are godly. Don't get me wrong. But first off, we starting with the katana. Now, the katana is great. Do not get me wrong on this. I just think there's better weapons. But for the first weapon you get in the game, it is godly, dude. I'm not joking. There's a couple of stats in this game that you gotta keep in mind about, like stature. Stature breaks whenever you take too much damage in a short amount of time, or if your opponent parries your shit too often. Now, the average katana player is ass. I'm not gonna hold you. The average katana player is just M1 spam, M1 spam. They have no other function other than M1 spam. But the katana has the highest amount of stature break for every parry performed. So if you use it right, you can break someone's stature just by parrying, and you can do it pretty quickly. And everything else about the katana is pretty aight. The range is decent for what it's worth, and the amount, like the damage per second you can output with this thing is quite decent, if I say so myself. But the very few players that are good are very, very good. The majority are so fucking bad. Get off the game and touch some grass, you fucking loser. Stop jumping up in the air. You ain't hitting on. So yeah, I think S tier's a respectable place for the katana. Next up is a weapon I cannot tell how anyone unironically uses, because it's just straight up ass. It's ass. And that place goes to the dual daggers. Now, why do I say they're ass? Because they've got shit range. They've got the worst damage output of any weapon, chip damage included. They're incredibly easy to see when you're gonna attack and parry as a result. They're just turbo ass cheeks here, dude. They are horrible in every metric. Their ultimate isn't even that cool. Like, how does anyone unironically use this when there are better options? If you're gonna want something that has two weapons, just go for the gauntlets or the curved swords, my guy. But I gotta try and stay as unopinionated here as I possibly can, even when staying as unopinionated as I can. They still get countered by basically anything with a bit more range than them. Like, I hate to say it, they're yeeks. DT they go. Alright, next up though, we got the one weapon that I personally main, which is literally just the katana but better. I'm not even gonna hold you. It's Daniel. It's Daniel versus the cooler Daniel right here. The Naginata is just, like, I'll say it right out the gate, S tier. It is among the best of the best. It's got the best dash attacks. It's got the best per hit stature break. It's got the best like damage per second in terms of like using range as well. It's quite literally the best all-rounder. The only area in which it is lacking compared to the katana is per parry stature break. And even then, you're not going to be using the parry all too often if you're a good Naginata player. You're instead going to be using their like opportunities to attack more or less as a way to dash away and then just punish them for thinking they can do jack to you. I hate to say it, but it's just, I don't hate to say it, I love to say it. The Naginata is just the better alternative. It is the better katana in my own opinion. So S tier, I'm glazing this shit not just because I'm main, but because it's factual in this case. It is just so astronomically good compared to almost all the other weapons. It counters 4 out of the 5 weapons here, and soft counters the rest. It's just that good. It's just that good. So S tier. S tier immediately. Now, next up, we got another one of my favorites just because of the range on this bitch. And that would be the Kusarigama. Now, with the last section, you saw me with the Naginata fighting the dude with the Kusarigama. Now, the main thing to keep in mind is that both of these is based on maintaining your distance properly. However, with the additional movement that the Kusarigama has from any of the dash attacks and whatnot, I just can't in good faith put it in S. And even then, it is hard countered if anything with a shorter range, like the gauntlets, for example, gets into space. They're just cooked. They're cooked. And Naginata has a much higher amount of time before it actually attacks, as to say. So anything that's fast, like the Warhammer, the Naginata, it can just interrupt half the attacks that the Naginata be using. I mean, not Naginata, the Kusarigama be using. So like, it's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong in that. It counters short range stuff pretty hard, but also short range stuff counters it pretty hard. So like, I can't really in good faith put it in S, because it itself is a hard counter that gets hard countered by what it's countering. So like, it depends on the skill level of how you're using it. If you use it properly and maintain your distance, you're gonna have a swell time. It's gonna be la la tip throw to the tulips. But otherwise, you're gonna have a rough time with the Kusarigama, because it's very choreographed. Like, you can see what's gonna happen very early on, because your character does an entire like fucking song and dance before each and every move. It goes into A. Alright, so next up we got the Warhammer. Now the Warhammer is absurdly good at breaking stature, which is good, because that little moment is a reprieve for you. You get all your stature back, and you do a lot more damage than if you were to just wail on them normal. So, and that's already pretty good. But it is hard countered by Kusarigama and Naginata. But it's also a hard counter for them. It's a bit of a convoluted thing. It's hard countered by range, so if someone plays a ranged weapon as it's supposed to be played, instead of just rushing in all willy-nilly, then obviously they're gonna win, because the Warhammer is about running in all willy-nilly. But if they do run in willy-nilly, the Warhammer reigns supreme in that area. Honestly, it's a perfect counter for the dual daggers and the gauntlets for all intents and purposes. I mean, I can't really recommend it enough if you want to be a little itty bitty goo goo gaga baby with no skill, because it is also the weapon with the least tact that you can apply with it. It's got a very low skill floor, but also a very low skill ceiling. And it's incredibly predictable the moment you go against it for like more than a round. Like, by the time that you're on the second round, it's going to be easy to parry every single attack. Trust me on it. So it goes into A tier because it is a pretty good hard counter against the two ranged weapons and the dual daggers and gauntlets. But it's also pretty hardly countered if anyone with more than 2 brain cells is pitted up against it. So, yeah, A tier. Next up, and finally in my personal tier list, well, with my own experience at least, comes the curved swords. Now, the curved swords, they're just the better daggers, am I being real? Are they more predictable to parry than the normal daggers? Yes, I will admit that much. But they've got longer range, they deal more stature break, and they do more damage baseline. It's just an upgrade. They don't attack like super fast like the daggers do, but also the daggers don't do jack shit. I mean, like it's like trying to put Narcan on a fent addict. It's not happening. You ain't killing someone with the daggers unless you pop a bolt, or if you're just doing parry master only. So like the curved swords, I mean, there's a bit of nuance to them because the first heavy attack is always a little spin move, and that does 2 hits, but it's also easy to parry both of those hits. So personally, I like to try and catch him off guard with a dash heavy attack, because it's basically the same thing but just one attack, and then you can follow that up with a bunch of light attacks and then chain that into a heavy. It's I mean, like, it's good if you can chain it right, but ultimately speaking, like, I'd say maybe B to A tier, somewhere in that range. It's good, it's not the best though. And now, let me get to the hard part. There's 2 weapons that, although I've played against, I'm never gonna use. Those being the gauntlets and the bow staff. Now, I'm gonna keep it a buck, I don't have any footage of either of these. This is because the gauntlets are the most skillless, bitchless weapon in this entire game. More so than the Warhammer. I'm not joking. I mean, sure, the gauntlets are good against the ranged weapons, and it's unpredictable. But also, it is the most bullshitty little Konami code ass weapon there is. Now, if you get into the zone and are able to parry it all, it's got the worst parry resistance of any of the weapons. But that's kind of with the consideration that you parry every single one of the hits. And it's got roughly the same stature break as the Warhammer, if not a little less. So, I mean, A tier, reluctantly, because I hate this stupid, dumb weapon. And next up after that, the bow staff. Now, I can't use this, because I'm broke. I'm broke. I have no money in my bank account. I can't use no Roebuck to buy this weapon. Now, I admit, the bow staff is very sadly a better Naginata. But only by technicality. Because this stupid little Game Pass weapon as of right now, it's the only one that provides more than a couple of iframes. It gives like an entire like invincibility half second. A bit broken, extremely broken, I will say. But it's got the same range as the Naginata and the same stature break as the Warhammer, with it having the same speed as the Katana. If that doesn't sound broken to you, I don't know what is. But the bow staff, I mean, it goes into S just out of obligation because it's the only weapon that gives additional iframes. It busts down stature fast. It's just like if the Naginata and the Warhammer had a baby, an incestuous baby. So that's my ranking for all the weapons. Yeah. Outro. Ooh. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making the video, as per usual. I only really make videos when it's fun for me to make videos, I'm gonna be real. So like, if you liked the video, then like it, I suppose. Thank you for watching to the very end, to listen to this really cool message. If you really did, then comment some bullshit like, I don't fucking know, like pineapple or some shit. I don't know. Thank you for watching. It means a lot. Have a good day.